Have you ever shared something you were proud of, a project, an idea, a decision, and someone immediately told you it wasn't good enough? I know that feeling, that sharp, cold sting that hits right in the chest, and for a moment, everything you believed about yourself starts to shake. I've been there, and if you're watching this right now, chances are you have too. So let me ask you something. What if that criticism wasn't the end of your story, but actually the beginning of something stronger? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share might completely change the way you see every harsh word ever thrown your way. Here's the truth most people don't talk about. Criticism hurts. It doesn't matter how confident you are, how many wins you have under your belt, or how many times people have told you you're doing great. When someone points a finger at your work, your choices, or your character, something inside you flinches. And that's not weakness, that's humanity. Many of us have spent years building walls just to protect ourselves from that exact feeling. Shrinking our dreams, playing it safe, staying quiet in meetings, not posting that video, not starting that business, all because we were terrified of what someone might say. We became smaller versions of ourselves, not because we failed, but because we were afraid of being judged. And that fear, it cost us everything. Let's talk about the first thing you need to understand about criticism. Not all of it is created equal. There's a massive difference between feedback that is meant to help you grow and words that are designed to tear you down. Constructive criticism comes from someone who sees your potential and wants to see you reach it. Destructive criticism comes from someone who is uncomfortable with your progress. Here is a simple way to tell the difference. Does the feedback give you something to work with, or does it just make you feel small? If someone tells you your presentation lacked structure, that is something you can act on. If someone tells you you'll never be good at this, that is their fear talking, not your future. So the next time someone criticizes you, pause before you react. Ask yourself, is this a tool I can use or noise I need to walk past? Think about a young man who spent 2 years building a small online business from his bedroom. Every week, someone in the comments told him he was wasting his time. For a while, he believed them. He almost quit 3 times. But instead of shutting down, he started paying attention to which comments had real substance and which ones were just cruelty in disguise. He filtered the feedback, improved his product based on what was actually useful, and ignored the rest. Within a year, his business had grown beyond anything he had originally imagined. The criticism didn't break him, it built him. Now here's the second thing, and this one is going to challenge you a little. Some of the most painful criticism you will ever receive will actually be right. I know. Nobody wants to hear that. But one of the most powerful things you can do for your growth is to sit with discomfort long enough to ask, is there any truth here? Not to punish yourself, not to spiral into self-doubt, but to honestly examine whether this feedback is pointing to something real. Many of us have been given accurate, valuable feedback and completely dismissed it because it was delivered harshly or by someone we didn't like, and in doing so, we missed a real opportunity to become better. Think about the people in your life who have made the biggest leaps in their careers, their relationships, their personal growth. I would bet that almost all of them had a moment where someone said something hard to hear, and instead of running from it, they chose to sit with it. They had the courage to say, maybe there is something here I can learn. That courage, the willingness to look honestly at yourself, even when it stings, is one of the rarest and most powerful qualities a person can develop. And if you can build that muscle, you become almost unstoppable. But the most important part of this conversation is still ahead, so don't go anywhere. The third thing I want you to understand is this. Your response to criticism defines you far more than the criticism itself ever will. Anyone can crumble under pressure. Anyone can lash out, shut down, or walk away. But the person who can stand in the middle of a storm of judgment and still choose their next move with intention, that is someone who has real power. And here's what that looks like in practice. When criticism comes, you don't have to respond immediately. Give yourself permission to feel it, process it, and then decide what to do with it. You are not obligated to defend yourself in the moment. You are not required to agree. You are not required to shrink. What you are required to do if you want to grow is stay present enough to make a conscious choice about how you move forward. Ask yourself, who do I want to be on the other side of this moment? Let me tell you about a young woman who worked incredibly hard to earn a leadership role at a company she believed in deeply. In her first major meeting, a senior colleague challenged nearly every idea she brought to the table in front of everyone. She felt humiliated. She wanted to disappear. But instead of apologizing for her ideas or going silent in future meetings, she went home, looked at her notes, refined her thinking, and came back the next week with even stronger proposals. She didn't let the embarrassment write her story. She did. That is what resilience to criticism actually looks like. Not the absence of pain, but the refusal to let pain make your decisions. So what can you actually do today? Here is one simple thing. The next time someone criticizes you, before you respond, write down 3 words. Feel, filter, forward. Feel it. Let yourself acknowledge the emotion without judgment. Filter it. Ask yourself whether there is anything useful here. Forward. Decide your next step based on who you want to become, not based on the hurt. That's it. 3 words. You can start using them right now, today, in the next difficult conversation you have. Watching this video right now is already the first step. It means you care about growing. It means you are not willing to let fear of judgment keep you stuck, and that matters more than you know. I know this is hard. I know there are people in your life whose words have left marks that are still there. I know that some of the criticism you faced wasn't fair, wasn't kind, and wasn't deserved. And I also know that you are still here, still watching, still trying, and that tells me everything about who you are. You are not defined by what people say about you. You are defined by what you do with it. If this video gave you something to think about, something to hold on to, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this message when they need it most. And if you want more conversations like this one, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next video.